No! No! No!
Horror Pop Extravaganza.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Din-din-din-din. Din-din-din-din. Du-dum-dum-dum-dum. Din-din-din-din. Din-din-din-din. Du-dum-dum-dum-dum. Horror Pop. I don't know if I'm going to keep that in for the intro, but that was
Please keep that in for the intro, dude. That was amazing.
All right, then we're keeping it in. I think I was just inspired because I was watching Halloween episodes of South Park and I watched the corn one where they helped him solve the fucking ghost pirate mystery. What is up, everybody? You know what? We're getting crazy for October. It's Spooktober. We're having a great time here at the HPE. If this is your first time, I am the ghost host with the most, the one and only Pops Ghostly. And with me, as always, is
Little corny Duke spooky.
he's got his dukes up. He's ready. He's ready to do this thing. Man, I'm still reeling on that intro. You were like, keep it. I'm like, all right, let's do it. We'll see what people think about that. Put it in the comments, put in the comments what you think. If I should try and just ad lib some more metal intros as I'm doing my thing. This is your first time, this place where the macabre meets the mindful. Bring together some cool horse, stuffs, movies. We were just talking about before we started recording, possibly looking into the Ed Gein thing. I don't think we've done any kind of a series yet on the show, but I've seen most of it, and I think it's 100% worth trying. Especially Charlie Hunnam shows up, dude. I'm like, look at fucking Jax Teller, dude, killing it, killing it. So maybe one day we'll get to that. But for now, we bring a movie to the table, and then we bring an idea, and then we share and kind of dig apart a little bit and see if maybe there's something we can do to all be a little bit more kind to each other and mindful. But before we do that, we got to get into the gore. And man,
Yeah, we picked a good one for the people this week.
dude, this is okay. I'm going to tell you right out the gate. It is rare. It's not like it never happens, but it's rare that movies still, really get under my skin in certain ways. And this one I felt like kept punching me in different ways. And I was like, you're hurting me.
Yeah.
This is, and if you listened last week, we are talking about VHS Halloween, and then this thing just released recently. It's a Shudder exclusive. You might be able to rent it and stuff like that, but if you've never done a Shudder trial or anything like that, just hop on, do one because this is worth a go for the Halloween season. Definitely watch it in the Halloween season. This is not Ernest Scared Stupid. I do not recommend watching it with your
I was scared stupid, but it was not earnest.
There is no rim shots or rim jobs, which I just
Yeah.
want to thank whoever pointed that out to us. I can't remember who it was on the YouTube channel that said, the rim shot is the doom, and I'm like, oh, we're just gross.
Sometimes I do that after a rim job, though.
Ah. That individual did inspire me, I think, though. I'm going to try and draw up a Jim Varney memorial flash sheet. Just all the different characters of Varney. Rimshot will definitely be in there. Probably Bob and Tom and a couple of the other ones. But this is a longer one. So let's just get right into this thing. Like I said, it just released. So it's going to have so many names. I don't know how you want to approach the IMDb because when you do any kind of an anthology, you have 5 different crews
Right.
essentially. It's never the same. What I will say is that the VHS franchise has long been known for giving young filmmakers an opportunity to display their talent. We'll give you 20 minutes, 25 minutes, maybe even a half hour if you're super lucky, if you're the real good one. And we want to see what you can do. And this shit's been, anthology's been around forever. But with anthology, you usually don't see a ton of recognizable faces straight out of the gate. I think everybody in this did great. There
Oh yeah,
wasn't really, yeah, there wasn't a performance one where I was like, you could see a little bit of it. Like you said, it's hard to get people to act natural, especially if you're trying to get a teenager to act angsty towards a father figure and things like that, which is the one area where I was like, oh, I see a little bit. But for the most part, it's super well acted completely across the board. And even that kid outside of that scene, I thought did a great job. So we've got VHS Halloween, which I was so excited because they're like, it's just a full fucking Halloween thing, dude. It's always been kind of more mixed bag for the most part. You might get a ghost story in somewhere, and then you might get a fucking alien invasion. And then with Beyond, we did get all paranormal stories, which was cool. And we did an episode on that. It's back there somewhere if you want to check it out. But historically, it was just like, hey, this is 1994. This is 1984. This is just VHS 1, 2, and 3. And it's been around for a while and it's been really cool throughout. There's been some highs and some lows. So why don't you just, kind of put the writers, the directors, those people out there, maybe some of the top build people, and let us know, what does IMDb think this new anthology horror is all about?
yeah. So let's just go through the directors and give them their props because, like you said, this has been a solid franchise through and through, And I think that when you hear like Shutter Original, sometimes people are like, I don't
Dude, I'm
know.
starting to love seeing that. I'm like, Shutter is showing the fuck up, dude. That Night
What
of the
great
Reaper
stuff
thing
out.
was so good. Yeah, Shutter really, I think, has elevated themselves. 'Cause at first it was just like it's a $2 subscription to watch some old vintage Mario Bava shit. And it was cool for people like me. But
Right.
I think for the average viewer, it wasn't really there. But I think they built a cool library and then added the stuff like Joe Bob, The Last Drive-In, and there's some of their original shit. I think has been awesome. It's been
Yeah,
really
they're
cool.
going hard. It's not like sci-fi original where it's going to be like
Right.
Shark Hunter 89 and you're like,
Right.
this is bullshit. Uh yeah, they're doing some good original stuff. Dangerous Animals was so good, dude, and that was a Shutter
I
original.
liked that one. I
You
mean,
know,
me and you are both very biased towards shark flicks. We like shark movies, but that one was just well done. It was a
it
cool
was
story. It was well shot. It was well acted. It was the stuff you want when you're going to a horror flick. Like, let's have an exciting time. It's almost like a roller coaster.
and like I really think that horror right now is one of the only genres where like people are doing like original shit and they're allowed to because you play with lower budgets and you can do some crazy stuff, dude, if you just like give the
If
right
you
people
plan
the
it
right
right,
amount of money.
yeah. And now we have cameras, that you could realistically do it for, 2 grand. You could get a decent fucking enough camera. You could use your phone. I mean, you'd
Dude,
need
the
all the
iPhone
attachments.
16.
You need, spend 2 grand on a couple lenses, like decent lenses that give you some depth of field, and you're fucking golden.
Dude,
Anyway,
the
continue,
iPhone
please.
16 just like has a setting now. Depth of field, dude, sets it for you. You don't even have to
Right.
know about f-stops and shit. It's beautiful.
It's crazy.
Go make a movie, people. I'll be right behind you. All right, let's talk about the directors of this fucker.
Okay.
Brian M. Ferguson directed the segment Diet Phantasma.
So as you're going through the segments, maybe I'll just highlight them a little bit so that people kind of understand. Diet Phantasma is the through thread. It is the story that connects all of the other little vignettes together. So we see a segment of it, then we get a little movie, and then we see a segment of Diet Phantasma, then we get a little movie, then we'll see a little segment, and it goes back and forth. But VHS has usually had, some story that tries to connect all of these things together.
We got Casper Kelly directed Fun Size,
Like,
which, as I'm sure you can guess,
right,
really upset me
right.
deeply. R.H. Norman did Home Haunt. Alex Ross
This is see,
Perry.
and this one I thought you would have really liked Home Haunt with
Oh,
we
I
were
did.
just talking about it last week. Yeah, your history with, and this idea of it growing and growing in lines around the block. And I was even watching it with Shayna and I were watching it last night. I'm like, oh, he's gonna like this one. I was like, because this is exactly what he sounded like. He did all this shit. And
Yeah,
so yeah, Home Haunt was cool. They were all fucking cool. There wasn't
they're
one of
all
these
good.
that there wasn't one that I didn't like.
R.H. Norman did. Oh no, that was Home Haunt. Alex Ross Perry did Kid Print.
That one fucked me up, dude.
Yeah. Michelin Pitt. Oh, I guess he worked on Home Haunt. Oh, he directed Home Haunt. So who was the other? Oh, so I guess there was two on Home Haunt, two directors. Paco Plaza did U Superosik Infra.
Great wood. Oh.
Yeah, yeah. And Anna Zlovaki did Coochie Coochie Coo.
Oh, so let's
Coochie Coochie
yeah,
Coo.
let's get into what all these things are about
Let's do it.
because there's a lot to talk about. So we open, like you said, with Diet Phantasma, where looks like the 1980s somewhere. Everybody's smoking, chain smoking cigarettes
In
inside
the control room.
laboratories,
Yeah.
inside laboratories. And they bring in this, they got a room full of look like prisoners. And they were in orange jumpsuits, but there was kids too. So I don't know. Maybe the orange jumpsuit was just a necessity, but they're like, oh yeah, you just gotta try out our new product and shit. And they're like, oh, what is it? It's Diet Phantasma. And they're like, okay. And it comes in a pink pint size thing. And they bring the first guy in to try some, and he goes to open it, and it just fucking like tentacles fly out everywhere. It's destroying his face. And it's not long before we learn that these are poltergeists in cans, which is amazing. And they've got like a Ghostbuster thing they can pull from inside the control room that sucks the poltergeists all out of their body. You see, it's like a big fan, pulls it all out of their body. This is fun. You don't get a lot outside of that. You know, there's people doing testing on this stuff. This Rothschild, or I think his name was, is super obsessed with getting this thing to market. I'm like, he's like, we got to get it out fucking before Halloween, which gave me strong Halloween 3 vibes, with the masks and stuff like that. We got to get it out before Halloween. And he's answering to somebody on the phone. And then throughout the course of the entirety of this movie, we'll see different people go into this room. But before we get there, we get to the Gaga Goo Goo Coochie. This was, yeah, I was like, I'm in for it, dude. After they set it up with this, I was like, I'm in for it. So you have these two teenage girls on the precipice of leaving high school and heading off to college. They decide, hey, we're not too old. We're gonna go trick or treating. And of course, they got their phones out and stuff, and they're videotaping everything. And people are asking them, "Aren't you too old for this shit and whatnot?" Blah blah blah. And they walk by this little boy that's like, "You're too old. The mother's gonna get you." And I'm like, oh, "Okay, what's
Yeah.
the mother?" And so they're being assholes about it. They're emptying people's, things, and I think snatching candy from kids and stuff like that. And they're sitting down, videotaping, looking at candies in the moonlight, and they see this house all lit up. And they're, oh fuck, how did we miss that? How did we miss that house? Let's go check it out. Okay. We walk over, ding dong, bum bum bum, trick or treat, treat. They're yelling, blah blah blah. And it's like, well, I guess fuck nobody's home. Then the lights and shit start flickering. They get maybe 20 yards away, maybe not even 20 yards, 10 yards away, and they turn around and the door's wide open. And somebody's holding out a basket, just an arm holding the basket out. And I can't remember exactly what it says, but it's like coochie, maybe something like that. Yeah,
That's
coochie,
Coochie
coochie,
Coochie
coo.
Coo. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it just goes back into the darkness. And I'm talking a black hole level darkness.
Yeah.
This shit is dark in there. And so the one girl's like, fuck this. And the other girl's like, no way, dude. Come on. We got to go get that basket of candy. And she's like, no, come on. Let's not. No, don't be such a fuck puss. Let's go. So they take off into the house a little bit, start looking around. Shit's fucked up. They turn and see her in the doorway, and she's got the basket, the mom character, and she drops in. This little fetus falls out.
I was really upset at this point.
I was too. Like, what are we doing here? And so I want to say they got knocked out or something like that because when they come to you, they're wandering around the house after this shit happens. She's like, okay, we got to get the fuck out of here after they see a bunch of weird shit. Um, and they try to find the door, and the door's not there. And she's like, rewind the camera, see, make sure this is the same exact spot. And all the pictures right there. And now the door's gone. All the windows are boarded up. I'm like, this is Blair Witch meets Resident Evil, dude. 100%. We're
Yeah.
trapped in this bitch. And they see a grown man. They're all babies. All these grown people are babies.
I hate
And
it.
and they had heard stories of a girl going missing, this cheerleader going missing the year before. But and he's gnawing on the fucking wall, this big bald fucking gumming it. And then he gets all scared and runs away. Ah, mommy, I was like, fuck,
Yeah, dude.
getting nuts, dude. This is getting nuts. So now they're trying to, and we see her when she peeks her head, the mom like around the corner behind them.
Oh
And that's not even the worst of it. We haven't
no,
even
it gets
learned
worse.
yet. We haven't even learned yet that she has six tits.
Oh,
and and that she was the lore as I got it was that she got pregnant by a rape and hung herself because they find a picture of her hanging up with like blood coming out of her, gown or whatever. And so now she's trapped in whatever this like purgatory, snatching in souls to turn into her weird little fucked up family. And she looks grotesque.
oh, grotesque, dude.
Yeah.
Somehow elongated so that like her
Right.
six hits look normal, and it's like,
And then we see a girl with a mask on her face getting force-fed formula, which made me so uncomfortable. She was
just
like, "Whoa,
choking
whoa,
on it.
whoa."
Yeah, dude.
And they're like,
And they
just push
just,
her out of the
yeah,
way.
they just push her out of the way, dude.
We'll come back for you.
That's crazy.
They can't get out through the kitchen, so they take off. They find the cheerleader that had been missing, and the effects on this are good. The CGI is limited, but it's used so good in this, where their faces they look like fucking Garbage Pail Kids a little bit.
Oh, totally, dude.
With the
Yeah,
big cheeks and then but still adult somehow like an adult
yeah.
baby head, and they're just like she's up there playing with her blocks and they're like, hey, we know who you are, we're gonna help you. And she freaks out, mom, and the other girl's peeking around the corner. We're seeing mom come up through the backside of the room and she's peeking both ways. So good. She gets the first girl and she's getting drug away. I can't remember. She gets him in the closet. They try to go hide in this closet thing, and you're in there with them with the light off. They turn the fuck camera light on. It's quiet for a minute. Oh, and then there she is, this hulking, big, like I said, Resident Evil looking, filled the whole doorway, kind of
Yeah.
a monstrosity with just, and we know where she's going because her tits are just leaking milk all over the floor, and it's getting slung all over the walls. Like you're looking at the walls.
Ugh.
It was, it was brutal, man. And so she snatches her friend away, and then she's going to look for her friend. And when she finds her, her friend's just like all big garbage pail kid face on Mama's lap, and Mommy's singing to all of them, and they're all just around her legs. And then old girl just like puts the camera down and crawls over there and snuggles up next to Mama, and she's like, and I was like, I think I pooped.
Yeah, I pooped for sure, dude. I was like, I need to go change my diaper now.
Dude, it was so uncomfortable. The set design was so good. Whatever this old
Oh,
creepy haunted place was
you
that they
can
found.
smell it in there, dude.
Well, and they walked into the baby changing room and there was shit all over the
Get
place.
everywhere.
That's where she
Oh,
found the picture. And then when an old girl walks down to the basement with her camera, there's the sign like "Welcome, babies, Lisa and whoever else." And that wraps up the first one. That is just. You got any final thoughts on
it's
Guru
just
Gaga?
no, dude. Like after it was over, I was like, okay, I need a fucking palate cleanser. Do I get one? Absolutely not.
No, no, you don't get it. And we go right back to first the Phantasma, Diet Phantasma. This time they bring in two of them at the same time. And the first guy, the can just starts spraying him in the fucking face. And he's like, "Bah!" He's becoming a toxic Avenger looking grotesque thing. And Hurricane, she's trying to get out. He's like, calm down. Don't worry about it. It'll be okay in there. Don't worry, it'll be okay. And she's like, get me the fuck out of here. Her can tab flies off, goes into her mouth and then out her throat and slams on the glass in front of him. And she's just bleeding out everywhere. They suck the poltergeist out, and I think maybe with flamethrowers and just start burning these people up.
Even's
And
like, he goes, is this glass gonna hold? And she's like,
right.
yeah, don't worry, it's tempered for that. And he's like, oh, okay. He just goes back to smoking a cigarette.
Right. Right. And I think that was the next lady who starts bashing her fucking head on the thing after she got a good swallow. But before we get to that, we get our next segment. And this is the which one did you say? Or wait, I'm trying to think of the order they came in. It was not fun size. I think this was the party where they all end up in the as above so below. I can't remember how it's pronounced in Spanish, but
Right, 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 right.
yeah. So we open up on an interrogation room with this kid in there, Enric, And I think he probably mid 20s, young 20s or something, but they're like, how there's no way you could have done all of this. So tell us what really happened. And we're already like, okay, what the fuck? What are we talking about? And so the detectives are like, all your friends are dead and their fucking eyes are gone. And there's no way you could have done it all, but you were there. You're the only person who survived. Now we start intersplicing with the video from the night of the event, this Halloween party. You got a bunch of friends in this tunnel. This woman, Vicky, is leading them like, oh, I know this special room. I came back here with some dude to bone a while ago. And which she does say in the movie. I'm not just adding that on. She's like, we did exactly what you thought we did.
Yeah, her friends were
And
like, "You boned down here? What's wrong with you?"
what's right with you? So she's like, we went into this room and apparently it used to be Madam So and so's. And she used to do seances in here and talk through to the dead using the telephone. We cut back to Enric and the detectives are like, yo, we're going to take you back there. We're going to recreate it. We need to know step by step exactly what happened. Pretty common police formula. He takes them. We see him getting freaked out by the room as they get closer. He's like, it's right over there. I don't want to see it though.
Yeah,
It's over there, but and they're like, oh, is that the one? Okay. And his psychiatrist is there. There's a mess of people here, probably 6 or 7 different law enforcement and care team type human beings. And they're like, we need you to do it exactly the same. Okay, we parked over here, we came in here, we went in through there. Then we cut to Vicky, who's leading them through this catacomby looking tunnel, which is really creepy in its own right. And then they open up into this octagonal type room. And she's freaked out because there's a phone there. And she's
yeah,
like, that wasn't here when I was just here the other day. I don't like this. They said she used to do this. They're like, Vicky, dummy, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, what's the worst that can happen? And out of nowhere, or first we flash forward to the detective pulling the phone out of the box and he brings a dummy phone in and he's like, hey, this is exactly how you need to do this because they don't believe his story. He's like, somebody fucking called me and then all of a sudden it went black and I don't know anything. So in Vicky's flashback, the phone rings and Enric's going to answer it, and she's like, "Fucking no, don't answer that phone." He's like, what's gonna happen? Blah, 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 blah. Gonna get it. And then he answers it, and you see the smile and shit on his face, and then he's just gone. And now he's convulsing, and we don't see exactly what happens
right.
at this point because we see the present, and then a phone just mysteriously starts ringing. And he's like fucking against the wall because they made him read. They had this incantation that was upside down that he had read the first time. They're like, read it
Yeah,
exactly
they made
like you
him read
did.
it again. Why
Yeah.
would you read it again?
Because they don't believe him. Nobody believes, nobody believes in this shit. So even the doctor's like, it's okay, go ahead and read it. And then the phone fucking bing, bing. He's like, no, don't. And this is where, though, I would have been like, logic or no logic, I ain't picking up a fucking phone that we just pulled out of a thing. And but he says something about, oh, there's a battery in it, or there's some kind of a bell inside of it that makes it, go off. And the doctor is the one who's like, oh, I'm gonna pick this thing up. She picks it up, and then we learn the true story of the first set of murders, but not before he starts puking out all her eyeballs.
Oh, dude, that was so rough.
So rough. Because all the eyes have been removed from all the victims, and now we realize that he ate them all. Now he has the power to fling them all up to the ceiling, and then this was cool, like Labyrinth. He walked in out the door downstairs and just came walking in on the floor upstairs. I was like, that's rad. But then we had to watch as he pulls 2 eyeballs right out of this lady's skull.
Like, oh, just reaching in, dude, and her
And then her,
scream.
like the tension that was on the other side of the fucking whatever, all the nerve endings and stuff that connect right back there. Yeah, and she's just and but we saw him do it to a couple far away, and you're like, it's coming. He's coming to take the eyeballs. And then they all just the camera falls, and then this was cool. The effect was great. All the bodies just fall. Boom. Everybody lands on the ground. And I don't remember if he died or not, or what happened to Enric, but he might have just walked out and been okay.
Yeah, I think he's fine.
He's out
Well,
there.
not fine. He's
No,
puking
no.
eyeballs. He needs to see a doctor.
Yeah, you don't eat eyeballs. I don't
No,
think, yeah, you probably can't digest eyeballs if I had to
probably
guess.
not. They'd probably come back up on you, just
Right.
like they did to him.
Oh, so yeah, we get that segment. Super cool. A ton of fun, very atmospheric. We have another short break, and I think this is the blonde woman
Right.
who, yes. And they're like, so in between all the patients, they're trying to, or test subjects, they're trying to adjust the dose to get it just right. And I don't know exactly what the fuck they're trying to do, or
Yeah,
just
I
take over
couldn't.
the world, but very, like I said, Halloween 3 with the masks. It's like just get this shit out before Halloween and we'll have fucking chaos on our hands. It'll be hell on earth. We'll have all these ghosts.
She
Either
cracked it
way,
though, and she goes, "It smells like shit." And all I
right.
could think was it had some of that milk in it.
Uh,
And then she drinks it. And she goes, "It tastes really good though." And
hmm
they're all like, "Oh shit, we did it!"
And then she like cracks the fucking can on her head and like crushes her face all up and starts banging her face on the wall before they got to take care of her. We jump to our next segment, which I believe was the kids one, the kid camera thing. And man, oh man, this one was brutal, dude. Almost comical because there were a lot of elements where it just didn't line up. Like I don't think they would have found the main guy guilty so easily. Been like, well, he was at fucking home all this time. How could he have been? There probably hopefully would have been witnesses and alibis and things like that. And fingerprints all over shit, like the fact that other dude was down there. They were like, we found the torture dungeon and fucking clearly this was him, unless he somehow cleaned it all up and was like, no, I wasn't near any of this and didn't report it. However, maybe that's just me rationalizing my fear from this fucking segment because this is good. Small town America, local photography video shop runs this service where you can get your kid recorded on a video talking currently so that if something was to happen to them, if they're kidnapped or if they're taken, then the police have evidence. You can be like, this is the current thing, this is whatever. People around town are really freaked out. Some kids have gone missing, and it's coming up on Halloween. They have this Halloween event, as all small towns do, and we can't go out and fucking without it. We got to put this thing on, or the killer wins. In this instance, I'll be like, you need to lock it the fuck down for a little,
Let the killer win.
because this been like two kids in a matter of a week or something like that.
Yeah.
But our primary camera holder in this situation is a father of two daughters. His wife isn't really cool with him videotaping everything. She's like, I don't even want to go to this thing. And he's like, well, maybe I'll catch the fuck killer. Don't you feel safer? Don't you feel safer with a camera around? And I'm like, I don't,
No.
yeah, I usually don't when somebody has a camera in my face. It doesn't like instill safety. Like,
No.
why do you got to record me?
Being the
Either way,
person behind the camera gives you a false sense of safety. Being the person on the other end, you feel even more vulnerable in your current state.
agreed. So we see a bunch of kids getting interviewed for these videos, like my name is so and so, blah, blah, blah. And then we see intercut, kind of just chaos and these kids fucking crying, like, hell me and shit. Oh, it's really unfucking settling to look at because these are
Very much.
children.
Yeah.
These are
Anything with
children.
kids really bothers me.
Yeah. And this mom comes in and she's like, oh, can you get this videotape doubled stat? I need it before tonight if she's gonna go trick-or-treating. I told her she could, but not if I don't have this video. And so he's like, yeah, we can go back and see if my guy in the back, Mitch or whoever, can do it. He introduces them to everyone, the girl at the counter who just, kind of record store kind of clerk type character. You've got Mitch, who's the one who you would think looks like the killer. He's squirrely eyed with big glasses, balding mullet type of thing. And then you've got I can't remember his name in the black, just comfy black gentleman, somebody you'd want to give you a hug. And he's like, oh, hey, I make the movies and shit, blah, 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 blah. And they get this mom and stuff to tape. We go to the Halloween event, and we've seen a lot of these kids and like, let me go. Fucking, what's wrong with you? Blah, going crazy, little snippets. We're at the Halloween event, and somebody brings up a fucking kid went missing. And this cop character right here was another area where I was like, you're just not selling it to me. He
Right.
was the one that was, but I was like, just get a fucking real cop and be like, hey, could you, make this up for me? Like, could you do this? And
Although
there's
police have this weird thing about being on camera too. They don't really care for it.
right, you know what? That's fair. That's fair. So this teenage girl is missing. He does pan over and we see somebody in a mask sitting by a girl on a bench for a little while. And they ask him, "Hey, go back and get that fucking tape, her tape, so we've got it so that we can make sure that everybody's identifiable and all this shit." So he goes back to the shop to get the tape, and that's when he runs into all the screens on in the back with just like torture of children. Not really, I mean, you do see some of it. This guy's filleting kids and eating them
Yeah.
and putting their face, he cuts the one guy's face off and puts it on the other face, but only like a Kato mask, you know what I mean? Just this top part right here, not the entirety of the whole face, the whole leather face, or any of that stuff. It's just a little mask, and the little mask is uncomfortable. We see our dad character who's like, "Oh shit, something's fucking wrong," and he starts hearing screaming. So we're led to believe it's not him at this point. We're like, okay, it's not him. And he starts hearing these cries. He goes out, he sees this girl out there, and then all of a sudden we learn that it's been, I think Tony might have been his name the whole time, the big jolly black man with graying hair. This was one of the best subversions of my expectations I've run into in a long time.
Totally.
I was like, dude, you've got like a 55-year-old black man eating children and shit. Like, I've never seen it. Like, good for you. Good for you for fucking swinging hard enough to be like, we're going to eat kids on camera. And then it showed him, though, his predatory nature would be like, oh, hey, yeah, you like the camera? And he'd be out in the, street or whatever. He's so trustworthy.
Yep.
So just, oh, yeah, this guy can't be all bad. But worse, he kind of gets old boy a little bit after they chase each other through the shop and into the torture dungeon, and he's trying to help this kid who the other guy had put this kid's face on him, and he's trying to help this kid, and this kid's like, "Fuck you," and he throws the girl in there, and he's like, "He's part of it too," and these kids just mutilate this guy. And then they're like, okay, we got to get the fuck out of here, but let's leave our hammer. I remember thinking that, like, you just beat this guy to death with a fucking hammer. I think you just keep holding it out of pure, like, rage. So those two take off. I don't think we see their deaths, but we hear them off camera. Thump, stab, stab, gross, gross, squish, squish. We hear it all. And somehow it is framed up that this guy who owned the store was this brutal kid cannibal for all this time. And we get the news out front like, it's been solved, murder has been taken care of, blah blah blah. And then you got old Tony out there scrubbing the like child killer off the thing. He's like, I'm gonna keep the business open and running. It's like, oh, and even my explanation of that, I think I went through that a little more quick because I didn't want to relive that. That was an
It was
uncomfortable.
rough, dude, with kids, man.
Oh, always so rough. And and maybe that is the cinematic response to the world we live in the West, in the United States, where the number one killer of children is gun violence. We're living in a world where kids are being killed in what seems like senseless, really senseless ways, and this kind of is that. It's kids being killed for senseless nonsense. Yeah, this one hit really hard. It was good. We cut to the next part of Phantasma, Diet Phantasma. And this time they bring in a handful. There's like three or four and a little kid. And the little boy, he just fucking, he's the only one that, I don't know, stays good for a while. But then I think they kill him. Or no, he explodes. Yeah, that's right. He explodes. He's like, what's All everybody else in the room dies horrifically. These fucking can deaths are funny though. You know, it's
Yeah.
crazy. It's nonsense, but it's
It
fun.
almost is a palate cleanser, even though it's so gross.
Right, right. Even because of the nature of the executives, you know, this Illuminati-esque organization trying to global control through diet soda. And the kid comes up to the window with just solid white eyes, and he's like, "What's your favorite pop, kid?" Diet, baby. And I was like, dude, it looks
Perfect. Put
so
that
good.
on the commercial.
Right. That's what he was like. Oh, we're so close. And then he explodes and he's like, fuck. We've been trying to get this recipe right. Suck out the phantoms. Get the next group of assholes ready to come in here. So the kid, all that happens. We go to our next segment, which is fun size.
Ugh.
This was This, I feel like I wish I could meet this filmmaker. I should reach out and be like, hey, you know, I fucking dug your thing. Tell me, did you play shit like Bendy and Five Nights at Freddy's and all that shit when you were a kid?
Right.
Because I feel it, dude. I feel those back hallway corridory big, you know, crazy cartoon cat and Jeff the Killer, like internet meme type vibes, but also that the comical nature of it is so bright it's carnival at the same
Right.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it really hit me with a lot of that. But I liked this fucking episode. And you got a group of four people who are all bummed that they went to this Halloween party and nobody had candy there. And how do you not have fucking candy? Which I agree. If you're gonna have a Halloween party, you have a couple big bowls of candy out there for
Yeah.
everybody to munch on all night long.
Right.
But they're like, we didn't get no candy. Oh, let's trick or treat. No, nobody's gonna let us. Oh. And the two are rigged up. They're documentarians, I think. They got GoPros on their heads and cameras, and this is how we get our POV for this segment. So they go to a couple houses, and the guy's like, fuck, you're too old for this shit. And they're like, we just got engaged though. And mom's like, oh, so sweet, give him a couple candies. And they're like, ew, I hate these candies, or I don't like this. And she throws it in the trash. And the one girl talks to the other girl, and she's like, fuck, I really don't think I want to get married. But I don't know how to tell him.
Yeah.
Well, you got to tell him.
And he's like, sweetheart.
He
I
calls her
mean,
fiance.
fiance.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so cringy, dude.
Hmm. He's like, I met my best friend and then I asked her to marry me.
Aw. And she's like, well, fuck this guy. I gotta get away from him.
Right, right. So you've got two couples and they approach this house and nobody's there. And there's a sign next to the candy bowl that says, please take one.
You just
They,
take one, people.
yeah, and I've been telling you, dude, I love that they made this segment for all those little assholes that go out there and take your whole bowl. I was like, just take one, or else this motherfucker is gonna eat you. Parents can show this to their kids now.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
That's a cautionary
And
tale.
these kids would respond to it. They'd be like, "This is like fucking my video games." And old boy opens one up. It's a fucking dick. It's
100% a dick.
a
Just a
hundred
chocolate
percent
dick.
a chocolate dick. And they're trying to make content for the internet. You know, they're like, oh, he's like, oh, who's gonna eat it? Oh, I guess I will. And, you know, and you know, doing all the stupid shit. And then he takes a bite out of it, and there's just fucking cream falling.
And again, dude, it just took me right back to the milk, dude. I was like, the milk lady made those.
Right.
Uh,
Her stuff was so gross. But this might even be kind of grosser. But he's just like, it's fucking tastes different. They're like, oh, it's foreign. Don't worry about it.
I think I've had one of these before.
Right. It tastes like you, Tom. He
There's a hint of pineapple.
and pumpkin seeds. He goes to take another one. They're like, nah, fuck, just take one. Don't take two. And he's like, oh, come on. And he did a big deal. I got to try this. Like, one of them was called like Carl or something, you know, and it's Kevin's Light. And he opens up another one or goes to grab for another one. And then all of a sudden, this red hand pops out and grabs onto his wrist. And under the table, there's nothing though. And they're like, ha,
Yeah,
cool
hands down.
trick. Yeah, ha, cool trick. Da 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 da. This motherfucker gets sucked straight into the candy bowl. Right in. He's gone. His homie's hanging on his legs. Now he's with him. going right down the hole.
They show the feet just sticking out of the bowl.
Right. The one girl's like, we gotta try and help him. The other girl's like, fuck you, and starts running away, which I'm kind of with her. The candy bowl just ate somebody. And then it comes flying at the screen, which, super old school animation. I liked it. Now we are in this parallel dimension, empty office space, warehouse type area. And they all kind of wake up and like, where are we? This is crazy. And they see across the way the golden, not golden, I guess it was just bright orange candy bowl that it had the stuff in it. And they see big fun size. Everything is fun size. Oh. And we are introduced pretty quickly to Mr. Fun Size. And I will say, as much as I liked Mr. Fun Size, his little brownie, cosmic brownie head, homie, was the best, dude. When he does that little fucking dance after, so good.
Great.
So good. And we see Mr. Fun Size, really can't be hurt by anything. She cuts his hand off and he's like, just like, starts shooting gumballs in her face. And then it slowly blows up into a new hand. They see a conveyor belt. They quickly learn what the conveyor belt does. And I want to say it was not the fiance, it was the guy who originally took two as the first one to go. And he's strapped to this thing. They're trying to help him and he pulling switches, and it's like fun size, yummy, chocolates, and shit like that. And he's going through this thing, getting hacked up by saws everywhere, watching his face get split and right down the middle. They're like, "Oh no, do you think I'll make it?" He's like, no. And he had the key to get out the whole time. They had found a door that had a lock on it, and this dude had the key in his hand. And they're watching the man go through the machine and seeing all the body parts being turned into candy and then covered in chocolate and caramel and peanuts and then wrapped. And they're like, we got to unwrap these things in order to get this key out. And I love when she's unwrapping. She's like, oh, it's just his balls. And she pulls the fucking balls out. But they do get the key. Okay, now we've got the key. They take off running back to the door. I loved this moment. They finally get it in, Fun Size and his brownie homie are around. You're trying to get out. They open it, and it's just a brick wall that says, please take one. I'm like, dude, yes. Like, truly trap him in there. Now, what are we going to do? Blonde girl tries to do something, ends up with a tube of gumballs up her butt, and they turn that shit up to 11, and it just blows the whole top of her head off, and she's shooting gumballs out everywhere. And the little brownie guy's like, just laughing about it, having a great time. Whereas Mr. Fun Size is, continuing to be menacing everywhere they go. They see this guy. The blonde goes back and throws herself on the conveyor belt to get turned into Fun Size. She's like, I'm done, dude. How she's even still alive with her head completely separated, I have no idea. She's like, I'm done, dude. And the other two are like, fuck, we gotta escape through this air duct. And I was like, this is Five Nights at Freddy's, man. You gotta like sneak around in the ducts and make sure nobody's coming to get you. They get trapped in a conveyor belt air duct that's leading into knives and fire. Just like that. And he's crawling and he's like, will you make me the happiest man ever? He's like, and he goes, he's crawling on this conveyor belt. He's like, it's so hot on my feet. He's like, I just want to be married to you even for just 1 second. And he does all the vows and shit. Do you so and so take so and so? And she's like, I do not. And he's like, huh? And just gets pulled into the night fire. Gets pulled into the night fire. And I don't recall how she meets her demise, but she doesn't. I think she thinks she gets out, but maybe is somewhere else,
Yeah, the classic
possibly.
bait and switch.
Yeah, and but we're left with, yeah, I don't remember exactly what happened to her, but we are left with three kids going up to the candy bowl, and one little kid takes one too many, and we see the candy bowl going after, rah, trying to get him, which is super cool. We get our last. There is a mid credits. I don't know if you watched to the end of the mid credits to see
Oh no, I didn't.
yeah, there's a final Phantasma, Dying Phantasma thing. It's really just kind of like an ad, like drink Dying Phantasma. It's great. But we get a group. This is the one with the little girl who's able to hold it for a while. But we've got too many people in there. Shit starts going bad. They're like, there's too many to try and get to drink it all at one time. And he's like, shut up, we gotta get it. And then even after the first little boy, though, he's like, get it ready to sell. It's time. We're doing it. And he I think the little girl's the only one who survives. Or no, they all kind of survive. And it's almost like they're possessed or they're still alive. Even after one dude's gouging another person's eyes out. It's pandemonium in this thing. And shit starts flickering in the control room. Mom. Cue the next segment. And the next, I believe this is our last segment because there was a total of five plus the through line. This is the one that I thought would be closest to your heart, the haunted house attraction. Dr. Mortis and his somebody assistant. It's a dad and his kid who, since his youth, we see flashbacks of his kid really enjoying this shit. You know, like I can't wait to do it. Let's go do our big opening and all this stuff. And then we fast forward to the future, and he's like, "Dad, I don't want to fucking do this. Like, this is your dream. I walk around high school, and everyone's like, you're fucking stupid. Fucking, where's your lab professor? Fucking, blah, 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 professor." He's like, "I don't want it. I don't even like you, Keith." Just call me Keith.
That's the worst, dude. If you call your parent by their first name.
Right. And he's like, and mom's like, "Oh, shucks, guy, we just gotta, he'll come around. Don't worry." Dad reveals the new big opening, which is cool. Like this haunted house is a dope backyard haunted house, but this is not before they go to the record shop. They're looking for props and stuff. He finds a hat. You hear that hat, that Midwest hat. He finds a hat for his kid, this steampunk looking thing. And he's like, "Dad, I don't like any of this." And then dad crosses a line that says, staff only, nobody come back here. And he finds this Halloween record with kids being eaten on the cover. And the back says, like, read this ritual and it'll bring back fucking hell on earth for you and all your friends to enjoy on a Halloween night. He's like, cool. Takes it, throws it in his bag. He's like, "Dad, what are you, fucking thief now too? Piece of shit. You ain't no role model. You ain't nobody good, dad." And he's like, "Look, I left money on the counter. It's fine. She won't even miss it. She won't even know it's gone." And we're getting close to the big night. People are lined up down the block. The kid is really upset about the whole thing still. He's going to do it, but he doesn't want to. He's like, "Mom talked me into this, not you. You know, she blackmailed me better than you ever could," or something like that. And we bring the first group of guests in, and it's really cool on the inside. Everything looks great. And he's like, we're gonna start by evoking the. And his one neighbor's funny though. He's like, "It looks like shit." He's like, "I only come here to tell you this looks like shit." I really like that comedic element. And so as he starts to play the record, it's like, so who knows, some kind of incantation. And the whole thing, I think, fucking starts on fire. The record starts on fire. The lights start going. She's like, "How are you doing this?" He's like, "I'm not the one doing this." And everything's going crazy. "Okay, let's move on to the next room. You fucking fucked with us, Larry. Don't worry about that." There's a few different rooms that we visit in this. We visit the torture dungeon. My favorite was the graveyard because you saw actual, just like hanging sheet ghosts attacking people, like wrapping people up by their necks, twisting their bodies until they are mangled and ooh, just going by the camera. It was great, man. It was like, oh, this is fucking cool. And then I believe, no, the ghost might have been separate from the graveyard. Because in the graveyard or somewhere we get the monsters. In the mausoleum, we get the zombies that come out of the thing. I believe they take another one. And then we get to the torture dungeon where you got this big, and mom shows the fuck up, dude, with that giant hammer. Mashes this dude's head all in. She really saves the day throughout the entirety of it. Come on, we got to keep moving. We got to keep moving. All these set pieces were so cool.
Yeah, dude.
I wanted to go.
Halloween through and through, dude.
It felt like Halloween.
Yeah, dude. It lived up to its namesake.
100%. Now, we've gotten through the torture dungeon. They're like, we got one more spot to go. And we're out in this cool back lot somewhere. It looks like a back lot with fog going over the trees, and there's a witch's hut right there. And I think, was it her kid walked in there? Somebody walks in there first. And they're like, "Oh, we gotta go fucking get him." I think it was that little girl. Yeah, because they picked up a little girl on the way whose both her parents got killed.
Right.
And they see her walking into the hut and like, "No," and mom's like, "We gotta go fucking save her." And mom does. But not before we see this dope witch, dude. I loved the design of this thing.
Yeah.
Because they were prepping it at the beginning, they foreshadowed like this is our big attraction, and they're painting a paper mache witch head to go in there. But the real witch looks super cool. There's a scuffle. I think the little girl's dead, but mom holds the witch's head down in her own cauldron and drowns her right in that thing. But as they get out the back door, and this was, I think, such a fitting, awesome way to end this thing. As they get out the back door, the witch wasn't dead, comes flying out on her broom. Somehow, a camera gets slapped on her somewhere. She picks one up and right down the street, though, street level at first, and like fucking reaches out, slices one kid up, and then spears another one with her broom and pulls it up into the sky and starts eating his intestines as she's flying up towards the moon. Just gnarly. And that's the kind of the end of the haunted house. And then we get one more last look at we're getting ready to go to market with our product, which was ghosts in cans. I still don't fully understand, and maybe if I rewatch it again, I will, what the end goal was.
I
Like
couldn't
what the
figure that out
true,
either.
yeah,
Yeah.
like what the true, if it was just some kind of fuck up the whole world at once, like they were trying to do in Halloween 3. And I think I saw on one of the monitors, so it almost looked like a Silver Shamrock logo, like a nod to the Silver Shamrock logo. So maybe it was just a techno horror thing. Like, what if ghosts could be in fucking pop? Let's
Right.
write it. Let's
It
write
seemed
it.
like a real stoned idea. Like two dudes were getting high and they were like, all right, dude, we got to come up with our through segment.
Right.
And they're like drinking the fucking slamming like monsters. And they're like,
Right.
what if there really was monsters in Monster?
What would you call it? Diet Phantasma. No, I enjoyed it, but I think I didn't fully understand it. But you do get that little clip mid credits that kind of lends the idea that this thing does get out there, and maybe some shit's gonna become like, my favorite. Just so good. So, out of 5 Halloween anthology flicks, how many do you give VHS? Halloween.
I give this 4.5 because I fucking loved it, dude. I love anthology horror. It's so good, dude. But these guys, this is the top of anthology horror, you know?
I think this might be, one of the best VHS they've done. I'm right with you. I came in, I'm like, this is 4.5 for me, man. Like this just hit every note of the way. I highly encourage people to check it out before Halloween. It feels like Halloween. It's got that vibe to it. And yeah, it was just the storytelling, the effects. Like you, I'm a huge fan of anthology horror. I think it's fun because you get a bunch of different stories,
Yeah.
all at once. And you have different voices represented, different
Right.
voices in the crews and things like that. And so it doesn't feel as consistent. It's like, okay, this is one thing, this is another thing. And all of these, though, with a lot of the VHS sequels, there would usually be one or two where I'm like, it was a little bit on the weaker side, but it's okay. This one, I was like, all 5 of these solid. The
Yeah.
sixth inner thread. If you would have given me a little more story about are the Ghostbusters out there just like down, 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 down. And they're like, oh, we bought the property that your containment tank was on, so it's officially ours now. So yeah, get the fuck out. And let's just hose these guys and put them into pop cans. And I like the lab tech coming in with tongs, holding setting it in front of the people. But yeah, dude, highly, highly recommend. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
What
Before,
I love about these anthology things too is that you can't ever guess where they're gonna go. Like it's just like surprise after surprise, and delightful surprises where you're
right,
just like so horrified. I mean, even the mom one, I'm delightfully horrified.
right, right. That I mean, whoever did the effects on that, it was so wet and so saggy.
Ugh,
It was wet and saggy.
it was wet and saggy.
And you could see it just sprayed all over the walls where her titties were just loose hanging back and forth and dripping all over both sides. And she's like, cuckoo caca, mommy loves you. Mm, gnarly. Okay, let us first, what are we doing next week? And also, if you would like, please leave in the comments many movies you would like to hear us talk about. I did get a recommendation recently for Near Dark, which I would love to do. It's hard to find.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Catherine Bigelow. I think I have a physical copy of it somewhere, but it might be harder for you to come by because I don't think it's really streaming anywhere. But that's one I would like to do. That's a dope ass vampire
That
movie.
is a dope ass vampire
Yeah.
movie. All right, let's do that one next.
But I don't know if we're going to be able to find it. We need to make sure we can find that one first before. I'm
All right.
serious. Yeah, it's not the easiest thing to come by. You might be able to find a DVD on eBay or some shit like that, but I don't even know what that'll run you.
I think they're 4K in it for this Halloween, dude. I'm sure I saw that.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. But it's not really a Halloween movie. We gotta get one
All
more.
right.
We gotta get one more in the spooky season.
It was spooky.
I say we do that other Shutter original, Night of the Ripper or Reaper. I really want to get your take on that. So it's
All
on
right.
Shutter. It's cool Halloween slasher. It's fun. So for anybody who wants to, you can watch both of them real quick if you get a trial subscription. You got to pay for it. Get 7 days. Be like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna watch that, and then watch other bunch of cool stuff along the way. All right. So now we are going to take a moment to pause. And I brought a quote today. I was going to talk about some other crazy shit, but I was like, I need to do more research on this to make sure I'm not talking nonsense. I just want to get your thoughts on this. This quote. It's oftentimes we look to people who we think are thinkers and things like that to inspire us and stuff like that. That shared knowledge that comes down through the generations. And I'm always looking for people who I'm like, you know what? I feel like they had a pretty good grasp on something. And this quote right here comes from Albert Einstein, which I think we would all collectively agree was he did some great contributions to humanity. Great contributions to humanity. Also, while like, I'm not gonna comb my hair and I'm just gonna wear whatever I want because I got shit to do. I got science, man. I only got so many years and I got science I gotta get figured out. But this quote right here, I love from him. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change.
Amen, brother. Yeah. That hit
Albert.
hard. And it should hit hard for a lot of people right now.
Yeah, dude. I didn't even think about it that way, but you're right. So, the measure of intelligence is the ability to change, which I think it is such a true statement. Like, I tried to pick it apart a little bit, and I try to pull at it and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, that is the smart way to live because that's the way the universe as we know it presents itself. It's constantly in a state of change all the time. And I think he probably understood that shit, learning, looking at the stars and whatnot, and like nothing's ever permanent. Like you can't study space and math and shit. Even, we look at equations like pi and you're like, yeah, it just goes on forever. What do you mean? Oh yeah, it would just go on forever. Okay. So even that, like there's a number that theoretically does not end. It has no ending point. And so I think being a scientist like that makes it easier to look and say, oh yeah, change is the constant.
Mhm.
But us lay people who are not the Einsteins of the world, and the Stephen Hawkings, we can still apply that, I believe. We can apply trying our best to be comfortable in a state of change because once you're comfortable in there, I think that opens up the door for a lot of enjoyment of life.
Mhm.
If you just accept the chaos, you just,
Yeah.
you just accept the chaos of not, and I'm not talking about human chaos, the chaos we cause a whole nother degree of chaos. But if you look at nature, it is violent and it is also beautiful, but it is in an ever state of change. Everything is moving, but we could dig a little deeper and say, well, technically, I don't even think it's really beginning or ending. It's all just kind of in a state of change, a consistent state of change. But for us, we can, when our plans don't go exactly according, stop and take a breath and be like, it's just change. It's the chaos of life. It is how life moves. It moves changing. It's ever changing. If it rains on your picnic day, don't let that fucking ruin your whole day.
Yeah.
Don't let it ruin your whole beat. You know, if you're like, oh, we're going to the beach, I can't wait. And then it rains and you just sit around for 4 hours like, oh, if we're at the beach, it would have been so much fucking better. So much better. Like fucking sand in my toes. So much better. But we
I
really
don't know.
do that. You know,
You've
we
never
really
been
do
to the
that.
beach in the rain, you're missing out.
I mean, you might go to your favorite restaurant, the line's a little longer, and you're like, well, fuck. Well, isn't this just some shit? Yeah, fuck. Guess we're waiting 20, 30 minutes, guys. Oh, did you hear that too over there? Yep. Yep, they heard me. Fuck pissed. But we be like that, all of us, myself included, you know, and the more we can just accept, like, this is just what it is right now. The line's a little longer. Okay. Then what? And then I like to play that game a lot too. Then what? You know, it's like, okay, it started to rain. Then what? Stuff got wet. I don't know. Then what? I got really upset. Then what? I just sat around stewing all day. Then what? And it's like you can follow that, you know, kind of line of thinking here and there. And it helps out some, especially when people are worried. I find that helps a lot. If you're like, oh, I'm so fucking scared that I'm going to get hit by a car. And that might be a very real fear. But it's like, okay, then what? It's like, well, I might be really hurt or I might die. It's like, okay, then what?
Yeah.
And you know, you ask those questions until somebody has to recognize that and be like, hey, what? Okay, what do I believe? Then what? You know, and go from there. But Albert Einstein, I think you were onto something amazing. The intelligence comes from accepting change
And you can't be truly intelligent if you're not willing to accept change. You're dumb if you don't accept change.
because you're rigid in your thinking. Yeah.
Right. You can't ever be smart if you don't take on new information.
Be like water. Rigid things are brittle and they want to break. You know, you can
Like
break.
water.
You
What if
give
the
me
ocean is
somebody,
full?
you give me some, right. You give me, you give me somebody who has really strong, rigid beliefs, and I'll show you somebody that's easy to break. I will put it that way. I would never spend my time or energy breaking someone like that. But you know, it's the more rigid our belief systems come, then the more, like you said, be like water. And it's just like, okay, I'm in this container today. I'm in that container today. I'm going to keep moving. Oh, there's a mountain in the way. I'll just sit here for 10,000 years and carve my way through it, just pushing a little bit at a time. Softest thing on the earth. Not even, you know, steel as we know it could cut through a mountain. People be blasting with dynamite and shit like that. But water, one of the softest things on earth,
Look at
has
it
the
this way.
power.
Some water is the ocean. Some water is your toilet water, but it's
Oh,
the same water.
it is.
Sometimes someone's going to drop a big old deucer on you. And you know what? That's what flushing's for.
I just kind of like that. All right, so next, did we pick another movie? Did we
Yeah,
see?
the Ripper, Night of the
Oh yes,
Reaper.
Night of the Ripper, Night of the Damn Man. I got MS. I'm disabled. Feel bad for a disabled guy and like and subscribe. So Night of the Reaper next week. We will be here for you. That might be one of the last ones coming up before actual Halloween proper. I'll have to take a look and then we'll jump back into our regularly pre-scheduled programming and get into Ghoulies, which I'm very excited for you to watch. So until then, peace, love, kindness, all those good things we leave you with. I have been Pops Ghostly.
I'm Duke Spooky.
No! No! No!
Horror Pop Extravaganza.